we are now moving to a very interesting juncture of today's summit. We will begin our plenary sessions now, and we have two panel discussion sessions, very insightful and which shows a lot of promise, of a lot of engagement with all of you. So I would like to call upon on stage the first panel discussion, which is titled as AI in Agriculture, from Policy to Farmer Field. And it gives me great honor to invite on stage the panelists. First up, we have Dr. Sunil Gorantiwar, Professor and Irrigation Engineering Expert from Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith, Rahuri, whose research focuses on water resource management and efficient irrigation technologies. Dr. Sunil Gorantiwar. Can we have a nice round of applause for all our panelists as they come up on stage? Joining him, we have Mr. Rajesh Shirore, co-founder and chief operating officer of Hardcastle Agritech Solutions, the company behind the global agritech platform MapMyCrop, which uses AI and satellite imagery to provide crop intelligence services to millions of farmers worldwide. Do we have Mr. Rajesh Shirole? Okay, he's stepped out a bit. He will join us soon. And also, great privilege to introduce our third panelist, Mr. Shreyas Bhartiya, Digital Agriculture Specialist and consultant with the World Bank's SMART project supporting the government of Maharashtra in strengthening the agtech ecosystem and promoting technology adoption among farmer-producer companies. So we have both the speakers on stage. A round of applause for them. Of course, a power-packed panel is not complete without an equally erudite and adept moderator. Gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. Rajiv Mitra onto the panel, who will be moderating this session today. Mr. Rajiv Mitra, he is the Senior Advisor, Growth and Transformation at Indapur Dairy and Milk Products Limited and co-founder of Bangdiwala Agro. Mr. Mitra is a senior industry leader with over 3 decades of experience in the dairy, food, and agri-tech sectors. He has previously served as Managing Director and CEO in leading dairy organization and brings deep expertise in strategies, markets, and agricultural value chains. So it's over to all the erudite gentlemen on the dais.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks to, in this time of technology and AI, I still sometimes prefer a piece of paper and pen. You can't do without it. So thanks to all of you for being here and to MCCIA for organizing this summit and for having me to moderate this stellar panel that we have today. When I came in, the master of this event, Madam, she asked me that she knows me we have known each other for about 25 years. She was with Sakal, editing an English daily. She did my interview about 20 years back when I was the different sector. She said that I was not aware that you are so deep into agriculture and agro-tech. So I need to address that first. I'm not so deep into agriculture or agro-tech. I'm just a learner. But before moving into the dairy sector about 12 years ago, I delved into India's manufacturing, services, and trade sectors. Never did any serious work with agriculture, honestly. And traditionally, I don't belong to an agriculture family. And that also has its reason. I tell you why. We have our history. The world has its history. Our country, we have our history. So there was an occasion of partition of the country. So a lot of families were displaced. People had to move from here to there. And my family was also a part of it, as much as all of our parents and grandparents. So when you are displaced, when you move from one part to another, you would know you can carry a lot of things along with you. Many things you can carry. But there is one thing possibly you can never carry. That is your land. You can't carry. So there are ways why you don't become traditionally farming families. But when I came into dairy, I come from the dairy industry about 12 years back. I knew that this is, and you know, there was something when I was in the services and the manufacturing sectors, subconsciously, you tend to feel that agriculture is past. Development is moving away from agriculture. You have this feeling, and I now know how wrong was I and how wrong it is, because agriculture plays such an important role in the country's economics and politics. We have now seen, and even more importantly, more recently. So coming back, today's topic is very relevant: AI in agriculture, policy to the farmer field. That is implementation, basically policy to implementation. And by the way, Dr. Bhoite, I loved your presentation. I was based out of Shriram, and we have used KVK in Bableshwar, Rahata, and in and around Ahmednagar, and I know how good and effective your training facilities are. So I just thought before I forget. It is more of policy to implementation. We have good policies, we have good startups, we have funds, but I think what we lack, Dr. Gorantiwar, is how does the farmer benefit out of it? So there is something that we need this panel to address today. So agriculture, earlier transformation was more about, say, better seeds, better irrigation, mechanization. Today, it is about data and intelligence, right? So AI is seen as futuristic, but to my mind, AI is today. AI is better decisions at the right time with the right inputs, that is, right information. It can help in weather prediction, precision farming, market linkages. I was listening to sugarcane presentations that how it erodes the soil, sir, and how it is detrimental to our Maharashtra farming, how it erodes the soil, how it consumes water. So maybe with crop zoning, maybe with producing it at not so arid zones, maybe it can get better. So AI can help us with that intelligence. We have innovators, but the real issue is not that of innovation, it is of transition. We have good policies, strong startups, we have technology funds, but is it reaching the farmers? Technology matters only when it is beneficial to the farmer field. From the dairy perspective, now you are talking of, I was Mr. Darfale's presentation about harvesting season. You must keep a track about when to harvest and when will it reach the processing mills. Think of dairy. It's a daily harvest. It's a daily business, daily decision making. It's so how much can AI help in dairy? More than one can imagine. So it's about feeding, breeding, animal health, milk quality, everything AI can encompass. So today the decisions are experience based, more knowledge driven. It has to be, but AI can strengthen it. It can back with data, with intelligence. So policy support to techno system to farmer benefit. I think this is the gap we need to bridge. And we have today a great panel, and you have known them. I think you have had the opportunity to meet them during the day today. So I would not spend much time on introduction, and there will be some introductions as we go ahead with the question and answer. Is that right? Can we do it that way? So as I have Dr. Goranti, you are sitting just next to me. We will start with you. Uh, but we will not have a round. It will not like a classroom, school classroom. We can just have a casual, free conversation. All right. So I think you are the best person to start to set the ground by explaining us what are the key AI-related policies that are aimed at benefiting the farmers. Don't get into the transition to the farmers yet. Just let us discuss the policies that are there now.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all. The policies are important. So many times we criticize that anyway, the policies have been initiated, institutionalized, but then nothing has reached to the stakeholders or end users. But nevertheless, policies create the enabling environment, okay, for the implementation and innovation. So as far as these AI policies they are concerned, I think on policy front, okay. So we did several good things and good initiative when we compare to the international scenario. Okay. So the AI related first policy at the national level emerged from the application of the drones actually. So we call this as the drone policy. This is before COVID period. Okay. Then this drone policy resulted into the Kisan drone actually. Okay, so we call this as the Kisan drone policy, and so that was also declared before COVID season. So the main purpose of this drone policy was to enhance the use of drones in agriculture to explore the several areas wherein we can use this drone. Okay? And then there were several what we call as the committees and all those things, and those committees came out with the several standard operating procedures for using drones in agriculture. But then drone was one of the components of entire AI ecosystem. Then we came with the India AI policy. Okay? So that policy was to enhance the use of drone across various sectors of the development, and this agriculture was one such. And some institutions at the apex level were given the responsibilities for this, and for agriculture, IIT Ropar was given that responsibility, and with the major share of the funds to them as well. Okay? And then later on, there was digital agricultural mission. Okay, so that was a real game changer actually. So that digital agricultural mission, so that was declared sometime in 2022. And so it came with three pillars, and all of we know that one is digital agriculture infrastructure, DPI in agriculture. And AgriStack was one of the component. And the main purpose of AgriStack was to what we call as the map the burns or map the fields, okay, and provide IDs to the farmers actually, and that has been started at great scale at national and even in Maharashtra level, and maybe this Mahindra and this KVK Baramati, they also emphasize the fact of say digitizing the boundaries of the farms actually. So that is the first thing of that particular digital agriculture mission policy. The second was the national soil health system. Okay? So soil is very important. So the previous two speakers, they highlighted the importance of certain key parameter. One is the soil, another is the weather, and third is the input application. Unless we know the soil types at the granular level, parcel level, it is not possible to go ahead with the policy. And third, of course, was the decision support system. Okay? So this digital agricultural mission, so it was just from creating the digital agricultural infrastructure till the decision support system. It didn't go beyond that. But then last year, Maharashtra Agri-AI policy was declared. Okay? So that came from all the digital infrastructure, data, and all those things to the advisory system. and decision support system, and then taking it to the farmer's field, which was very important. And probably this is the topic of what we call as this panel discussion as well. So from policy to farm. So this Maharashtra Agri policy addressed this issue, and the work has already been started, as you might have read in the newspaper, or many of you might have participated. So Maharashtra Global Agri Conference was recently concluded in Mumbai on 22nd, 23rd February in Geo Convention Center. And several deliberations have also been made how to take this policy ahead so that we can reach the individual farmers' field as well. And Maharashtra government has also established the Artificial Intelligence and Agrotech Innovation Center to enable all those things. So in that way, these policies, they are moving ahead.
Sorry, I hope you could listen me. I don't know. Yeah, but then what I was trying to emphasize the importance of the policies. So policies should be in place as far as the innovations are concerned, and we are on the right path. I would like to say. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. But we'll come back to you on the AgriStack and the drone policy, and we will come back on how they are actually impacting the farmer. And I'm sure the audience will also have a lot of questions to ask at the end.
Sure.
But we'll come back. We'll come to you. Thank you, Shreyas. So first, let us hear from you very briefly. You are consulting the World Bank and some projects. So tell us what exactly you are doing, and then we will go ahead with some questions to you.
Sure. Hello. Thank you, first of all, and thank you for having me here, MCCI and all the organizers. So just to give you a brief background about myself, as sir mentioned.
Can you hear at the back?
Am I audible? Yeah, thank you. So I development sector as a development consultant. I have worked previously with multilateral organizations such as GIZ. With regard to the topic that we are here today to discuss, I have been engaging with the World Bank on a number of projects, one being the SMART project that is there in Maharashtra, in Pune. The office is there in SB Road. I'm looking at specifically the adoption of AgTech amongst farmer producer companies, how we can foster that at the ground level. Also, I'm looking at how we can sort of develop this ecosystem in such a way so that it provides a level playing field for AgTechs to participate in, for the farmer producer companies to adopt these technologies, get the impact and scale, and also look at policy level, what sort of interventions can we have that can enable these transformations to happen. So that is in a very in a very short, so I would say,
Yes.
that's what we're doing.
You know, what I think we would be interested to know is what are the low-hanging fruits? What are the easy wins, easy triggers that could accelerate AI adoption at the farmer level?
Thank you, sir. I think based on my experience, one of the things, and I'm speaking directly from a farmer's perspective, because that's how we engage with a lot of FPOs in terms of understanding how technology is impacting, what sort of challenges are there. The first thing that the farmer comes up and tells in a very frank way is, I have a crop standing. What is the best price that I can get for my crop? Can you answer that question with the solutions that you have? Because if you aren't answering that immediate question, chances are that the farmers will sort of step back and say, okay, dekha jayega, we'll think about it. Because the challenge today for us is technology, be it AI, be it AgTech, is looked upon as an expense and not an investment. So how do we change that narrative from an expense to an investment? So unless the farmer is able to see the cost-benefit analysis, is able to perceive that, it's very difficult for them to convince that this technology will help you in so and so ways, in so and so time. So one of the low-hanging fruits, which I feel something that whether it is AI or AgTech should at all costs address, is the ability of FPOs, farmers, to create more market linkages, to have more options for them to sell their produce, to get better price for their crops, to connect with buyers who may want specific requirements. Because I've seen time and again, I've interacted with FPCs who are working day in and day out. Ultimately, their crop, their produce is being sold to the wholesalers, to traders, who have a very different approach to, they work on thin margins, they are not interested in food safety, they are not interested in a package of practices. So why should the farmer, adopt these technologies? Because the end consumer is not concerned about them. Whereas when you look at FPUs which are directly engaging with exporters, you have grape FPCs in Nasik, you have a lot of, and they are engaging with exporters who require a stringent quality parameters. They require certain standards to be filled, and they provide everything from advisories. The entire ecosystem is there, and the farmer is able to get into that ecosystem very efficiently because he knows there is a market, because he knows there's a premium going to be paid, because he knows for the next crop he'll have cash in hand to do so. So I think that is a low-hanging fruit, something that AI and AgTech in general should focus on, and how do we enhance market linkages for the FPCs?
No, I think you're right, and an interesting point I think which all of us should consider is if the consumer is not interested in getting quality food stuff, then why should the farmer be interested? So this is a good point. Like we drink milk every day. Do you really care that whether that milk is antibiotic free? Because see, the ratio of veterinary doctors to animals in our country is very poor. And a dairy farmer has access to antibiotic pills over the counter, which should not be the case. So what happens when a cow falls sick? She is given an antibiotic pill, and the traces of antibiotic come in the milk. And 1 liter of contaminated milk, doctor would know, 1 liter of contaminated milk can contaminate 5,000 liters, which is stored in a bulk milk cooler to be taken to the factory. And that factory may be collecting 500,000 liters, 600,000 liters of milk every day. The entire thing gets contaminated because one cow was sick and there was not one doctor to treat that cow. And are we really aware of it? Are we taking care of it? If not, then why will the farmer take care of it? Why will the farmer segregate that milk? There is a cost to it, isn't it? So if I am not willing to pay that cost, so why should the farmer subsidize the consumer? The farmer should not. So this is a very interesting point. In our daily lives, in our consumption patterns, we must think of it. We must demand quality. And quality will have a price because the farmer will not subsidize. Milk costs about 41 rupees to a liter today. 80% of it is feed cost. And with wars all over the world, feed cost will go up. Logistics cost goes up. Packing material cost goes up. So farmer cannot subsidize us. We come back to Rajesh Shirole and tell us, what is MapMyCrop?
Sir, thank you. Thank you to the organizers. Thank you everybody to invite us. Since we are in startup, coming to such a stage is very much appreciable and it's motivating actually. So what is MapMyCrop? MapMyCrop is everything that Bhoite sir showed here, and also a mix of what our expert from Mahindra also showed. But what we do differently is we are actually very focused on what the farmer is doing right from sowing to harvest. Means our work starts actually a week or 2 weeks before that, and we use satellite images and we process it through our AI/ML models. And we have a mix of satellite images, GIS data, plus weather, which is all bundled into, processed, and then again reprocessed with agronomical knowledge that we have put in our AI models. So basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to keep it minimalistic on the human interface, even on the part of agronomists, which is very difficult because we have to train all the AI models and all. But the scale that we are now looking at because of our very able partner KVK Baramati, we are now poised to at least serve more than 10,000 farmers directly, which comes through sugar factories. But sugar factory is just an mediator there. The work is directly happening with the farmer. So you understand, you have 10,000 customers with different locations, with different mindsets, with different soil. All these parameters needs to be analyzed. So our solution is tailor-made to the every acre or half acre, at least we go down there. Now sir was talking about 3 meter by 3 meter. What we have done is we have super revolutionized our resolution of the image. to 1 meter by 1 meter. At the same cost of that you get for 10 meter by 10 meter of image. So one thing is we have not distorted the data. We have actually enhanced it. So the accuracy improves. And with all this help, we are also, we had a problem about the soil testing not coming from the farmers. The data that comes from the ground or the feedback is actually not existing in India. It is at a very low level in percentage wise. So we solved that problem in 6 months with all our stakeholders that helped us. Now we also process NPK, SOC, EC, pH through satellite images.
No, you have to elaborate on this, because don't assume that everybody is absolutely well versed with everything you are saying. You are a professor of AI, so but not all of us will know.
Sir, actually, in my company, I'm known to speak only 3 to 4 sentences in an 4 hours meeting. But anyways, I will have to upgrade myself on that. Yeah. So NPK is potassium, sodium nitrate, and SOC is the soil organic carbon. EC and pH are also important for the soil. So when the farmer uploads this, if this test comes before sowing, we know exactly what kind of fertilizers, what kind of treatment needs to be done on the farm. So this data is non-existent, and if the farmer has to do that, for example, if there is a remote farmer, he has to travel to the taluka with a soil sample, or he has to request. I think that doesn't happen. The expert goes on the field and he collects the samples and comes back and tests and gives the results. So the farmer has to travel, do all this, and with all this, what is the accuracy or what is the calibration of the instruments that are being used in the lab is another question to be addressed. So not going in that. So the data that comes from the ground has to be legitimate. It has to be accurate. So we worked for 4 years on this. Right now, whatever business we have, out of that 95% of the business is still inbound. We have never gone for any meetings or any pitches to the client. It is actually inbound. The only pitch that we made was to KVK Baramati, because we understood from they are doing something in AI and we need to be a part of it. So that is where we became a partner with them. So what we are doing is we are helping the farmer from sowing to harvest. Every week, every day, what he needs to do means what kind of fertilizer he needs to use, what kind of pest is coming, which may come. That is the, if I want to break down my platform into 3 verticals, the one is crop monitoring, second is detection, third is prediction. So in crop monitoring, we help him from sowing to harvest, what he needs to do regarding his irrigation practices, regarding his fertigation practices, regarding his pest also. In detection, we detect what is the damage that might come, what is happening on the ground. Crop type is what we detect. It is for the enterprises. But for farmer, we normally predict what pest is going to come well before it will come to the farm. If it has come, the alert goes on a daily basis. If it is going to come, the alert comes on a weekly, then it increases as the algorithm is done. So with this timely interventions, what we have discovered is if the irrigation practice is done meticulously, if the fertigation is done on time, if the pest is controlled well before it comes, the genetic yield of that crop can be achieved, or the gap can be reduced. When I say genetic yield, for the yield that we have on all farms is like 40 to 50% of the genetical yield capacity of that crop. So that gap we are trying to bridge. That is where we are helping the farmers. And the response that comes from the farmers was, in the start, as I said, nobody is interested in tech because it looks like an extra expense, an unnecessary expense. But the moment we got success for more than 1,000 farmers with KVK Baramati for sugarcane, now that is scaling up to 5,000 and another 5,000 is in pipeline. So this is the scale that is there, and the adoption comes very easily. But we have to prove, we have to show the value that we are bringing to the table to the farmer. Then I have at least 100 farmers who have walked in my office, searching the office, and they have come and they have just paid us and brought the services. They waited for 4 hours in the office because they needed to understand the platform and everything, what we do, how we do, what he needs to do. So we have boiled it down to such a level that our data is processed and we provide actionable insights to the farmer. When we say actionable insights means Today you have to give this many liters of water to the crop. Today you have to put this many kgs of fertilizer. We give the ingredients of the fertilizer. We don't recommend any make right now. Why? Because we don't want to be stamped as an agent or an provider for any fertilizer company. So the farmer has a freedom to go for chemical based, bio based. It is both the advisories are given to him, and this is how we are trying to help the farmer. Thank you.
Fantastic, very good. You spoke about, what you are creating is a model of success, a proof of concept, right? And like what people like KVK are also doing, you are showing success, which is, I think, very important. And we must feel happy and proud that whatever may we say about our lack of efficiency, lack of productivity, India is amongst the top 2 or top 3 rank holders in most food grains. India is the top producer of milk, of pulses, cashew, jute. India is the second largest in rice, wheat, and so many others. And if you take third position also, most of the important food grains will come where you'll see India is amongst the top producers. Which is, now we can talk about, what is the productivity? That's the problem. Productivity is an issue. Like, we are the largest producer of milk, but our productivity is the lowest. Per animal yield of milk is the lowest in the whole world. A country that produces 24% of global milk production, 24%, the productivity is lowest. We produce more milk than the entire EU put together. We produce more milk than entire Americas and Oceania, that is Australia, New Zealand, etc., all put together. But we are not a major exporter. There are reasons for it. But creating this, taking these small areas and creating success of it is very important, because nothing succeeds like success. We are the largest producer of, I think, largest or second largest producer of sugarcane. But is the per hectare yield as per global standards? I doubt it. There may be 1 hectare in Baramati which Dr. Bhoite is addressing, which may have a very high yield. But that is not the whole country. So that is some work we need to do. So very nice. We'll come back to you. Now I move to Dr. Gorantiwar again. Just as if you are addressing a class, because there could be some students here also at the back, just as if you are addressing a classroom. You spoke about, drone policy, you spoke about India AI, Kisan Drone, Agri-Stack. So tell us the key steps, maybe 3 or 4 steps, very easily understandable, learnable, and teachable steps that are required to transfer this policy to the farmer field. This, say, AgroStack, it is a mouthful. It's very nice to hear, good to say. How does that farmer, what he's saying in a remote location, let's say in a village in Rahata, how does that farmer care about it? How does that farmer know about it? And how does she benefit from it? In some 3, 4 understandable steps.
So I think rightly pointed out, it's not only the sugarcane farmers or maybe the horticultural farmers. So they should be reached. So as far as the governments are concerned, maybe the farmers in Rahata or maybe in Gadchiroli, they also need to be reached. So in this case, as far as this digital agriculture and AI policies are concerned, okay, so policies, they are always formulated what we call as ideally. Okay, so implementation could be sometime a problem. But as far as the AI policies are concerned, I think I already told we are on the right path. So the first kind of thing for implementation of the AI policy up to the farm level or up to the end user, the digital infrastructure and data. Okay? So I think my both fellow panelists, they agree and they also emphasize the importance of the data actually. But at the same time, digital infrastructure is also important because both are from the tech side. So maybe
they might have understood its importance. But then, as far as the digital infrastructure is concerned, it starts right from the hardware part, say maybe cloud, GPUs, and all those things. Okay. And then I think previous speaker has already told that this is fairly common as far as this infrastructure is concerned. But its data part is very important actually. So unless data, we can't move ahead as far as the application of AI is concerned. Okay? So for that, we need certain systems. Say, for example, AgriStack is one such thing. Okay? So AgriStack, what it does actually, it tries to gather the information from the farmer actually. Okay? So the first important data set is the farm map itself. So we have the cadastral maps. Okay? So and then we are also trying to map farmers' field, and also we are trying to provide the ID to the farmers. As far as the Maharashtra is concerned, already 10 million farmers they have registered on the AgriStack, and by any means this is quite a huge number. But then it is not only mapping the farm actually. So it is mapping up to the bunds. So that is very important. And the bund mapping is very difficult. Okay. So for mapping up the bund, say maybe it is not like cadastral. So we move along with our GPS and all those things. But then bunds are the several thousand, several millions. Then we have to again develop certain AI-based system to map the bunds. So this is the part of the digital infrastructure. Okay. So once that is in place, okay, then we can generate a lot of data actually. Then we can bring in a lot of data, but then we need certain platform for that. Okay. So data means what? It is not some isolated form wherein, say, on mobile application there will be certain resident application and individual farmers data will be placed. Okay. So that don't work in AI actually. So we need the digital infrastructure for data as well. So many of you might have heard the edX actually. So that hosts the data. Or as far as the Maharashtra is concerned, Maharashtra Agricultural Data Exchange Platform has been released actually. Okay. On that, so we are trying to, our government is trying to pull in all kinds of the data, right from the soil, then weather data, weather forecast, realize weather forecast, realize weather, then the soil properties. There are so many things actually. So that is the agriculture data exchange. So this is the first step actually. So where we need the digital infrastructure and the data. Then this data needs to be analyzed with, say, AI models. Okay, because AI model, they should have they have the predictive ability. It is not like the simple decision support system or simulation model. So it should have the predictive ability as well. Then we have to develop the decision support system, okay, based on this data. Okay, so and this decision support system will provide the farmers advisory. Okay, so these advisories may be of any kind. So farmer may want to know what kind of the crop he or she should take actually. So it depends not only on the agroecological region, but the market intelligence that you pointed out. So there is the role of market intelligence as well. Farmer may want to know for a specified crop when to sow that actually. And this is very important in Kharif season. Okay, so if we sow at wrong time, wrong window, there is possibility that farmers will lose the seeds. Okay, and that will add to the cost of the cultivation. So once farmers sow actually, then there are host of the advisories actually. Say for example, pest and disease. Okay, if farmer comes to know the incidence of the pest and disease, okay, not in advance, then farmer will not be prepared actually. Then farmer should know some certain alerts actually, so based on certain triggers. Say, for example, we can develop the model, so wherein we can use the university database. So for most of the crops, for most of the pest and disease, universities, they have developed the weather triggers. That is, if this is the situation of, say, relative humidity or temperature or soil moisture, then this is the congenial atmosphere for this kind of the pest. But then if we couple this with the weather forecast model, we know that, so weather forecasting 7 days ahead will be like this, and this is the congenial atmosphere for this pest and then or this disease. Okay, then we can issue the advisories 6 or 7 days in advance, and so the farmer will be in preparedness actually. Okay, and then for that we need the weather forecast at the granular level actually. It is not like that. So currently we are using the weather forecast from 12 kilometer by 12 kilometer, then 6, and then we are.
So
coming
basically,
to
at a
the 1
broad
kilometer by
level,
1
broad level, it is data,
Yeah.
and then analyzing it and predictable
Yeah.
and putting it in a decision support
Yeah.
system, making it intelligent, and thereby making it information to the farmer.
Yeah, but then this is not the complete actually.
I know. I'm tempted to let you go on.
So up to this the second point is okay. So I will miss some of the intermediate point, but the last point is very important
Yes,
actually.
please.
So we have to reach to the farmer actually. Okay, it is not like that. So we have done everything. So many times what happens when we develop the individual model, so reaching to the farmer is very easy through mobile app. But you consider the situation of Maharashtra wherein there are 1.5 crores farmers, okay, and many of the farmers, they are rain fed, okay, and they even may not know, okay, what is happening around. But if the farmer is received the alert, say maybe soybean, and then you need to harvest the soybean crop because the rains are predicted. Okay, so if farmer know this advisory, okay, so without going anywhere, so that is important. So we should have the application in such a format that, okay, farmer will receive the advisory just for his or her farm, for his or her crop actually, and for that moment. Okay. So if farmer is, say, what we call is forced with the host of the advisories, then he may not look after that. So that final, what we call as the end application is necessary. And as far as the Maharashtra is concerned, so there is one application called as the Mahavistar app actually. Okay. So that is available again on Play Store, and it has been already downloaded by 30 lakhs farmers. Okay. So that is the end point. So I'll be happy to answer if should you
Correct.
need more details on this.
So we have 3 bells or what? So it's like a play when you go to watch a theater. 3 bells. So and then after that, question answer. Okay. So Shreyas, very quickly tell us about the importance of public-private partnership in this area. How does it help, and should we harness the benefit out of PPPs? Very quickly.
Absolutely. I think even the Maha AI Agri policy plays a lot of emphasis on that, because ultimately it's all these three stakeholders coming together, the farmer producers, the agtechs, and I think one of the key factors which I think a lot of presenters have pointed out before is data. The requisite for credible data. So this data sharing is not just by farmers but also by the private sector, because they have quite a few data amongst themselves. So how does the government and the policy is able to create such an amicable environment wherein there is incentive for all these stakeholders to share data, so that that data can be fed into AI models and some meaningful technologies can emerge out of it? That I think is a very key challenge, sir, which I think public-private partnership can address. You know, the trust is not just with the farmers, it's with the entire stakeholders, because you are sharing data that you can monetize for your own business, but yet you need to share for the greater ecosystem. What sort of incentives do you have? So I think that's one of the key objectives. The second is, as sir rightly mentioned, the digital public infrastructure. A lot of this digital public infrastructure, whether it's Doppler radars, installation, whether it is, these are heavy investments that agtechs cannot do for themselves, and that's where government, comes into play. So government should be able to do these massive, large-scale investments. The agtechs should be able to tap into this ecosystem, get the data that they need. And again, when I talk about data, please, for the farmers, आज के डेट में सबसे बड़ा जो उनका issue is data protection, data privacy. Nobody talks about that. We have a DPDR Act 2023 in place, but how many of us are aware of it? So the important thing is to do so in a very in a lawful manner as per the data procedures. It's very important. So I think that's where the public-private partnership can help, because farmers are not there on all platforms. It is people like you and me who are mostly engaging one-on-one. Farmers are somehow missing in this representation. So how do we ensure that even without their representation, their challenges, their issues, their requirements are catered to? Thank you.
Correct. I agree. Understand. See, like in any other sector, it is important. So before the last bell rings, we want to be on time. So Rajesh, you tell us about what ails us. What is a problem in our country in general is last mile accessibility. In anything, any sector, whether it's a metro rail or anything, like in cities like London and Paris, you would know within 800 meters of every residence, there is a public transport station, whether it's a bus or a metro or a train. Within 800 meters of every house in cities like London, Paris, and many others, even in China and Japan. We have this कि मेट्रो से आके कहीं उतर जाओ, फिर एक ऑटो ले लो, फिर उसके बाद एक 6-seater, and so our last mile is a mess, sorry to say. So how does AI help? Because you are in that, you are in your Map My Crop. How AI helps in last mile accessibility?
Sir, this is a very simple looking question, but I will try to. This is not simple.
You
I'll
speak
just-
less.
Yeah.
You speak less, you told us. That's why the last question is for you.
This looks a simple question, but it's not a simple question. The thing is, AI helps us in processing large amount of data. And when we talk about, let's say, a village, then we come to a taluka, then we come to a district, and then we come to an state. So my answer will follow in that. So when I individually onboard a farmer, basically he is onto an internet, he has a smartphone, and he can access apps. This is the requirement for any agri-tech company to have a farmer onboarded. Because since we are into satellite images, we require Google access compulsory for the farmer. So this is type of customer. I don't prefer calling farmer a customer, but in this context I will call him a customer. This is what a requirement from an agri-tech point of view is. So we are catering to a smaller chunk. Now coming to the states or local governments issue. Now they want to cater the last mile that you are talking about. Now that farmer may have a mobile, may not have a mobile, but we all agree now the penetration of the mobile is there at last mile also. Every village has few mobiles. Let's say they have some old mobiles where only SMS facility is available, WhatsApp is not there. So what AI helps is, AI will help you to process the data, to bring the data knowledge or the data, what the data is saying, it will read for us, it will process for us, and it will bring it in such a language that is, that we can put it in an SMS to the farmer. This is very much possible. Means we do provide our actionable insights on WhatsApp as well as an SMS to a farmer, because we have few farmers in Tamil Nadu which use older version of the mobile. So this is how it has to be done. So AI will help in processing that large data, bringing it down to such an advisory which is understandable and actionable. When I say actionable, means if in case the farmer has to provide irrigation to the crop today, to his farm, he needs to get an SMS, you need to irrigate your farm with so many liters of water. This much of SMS can go, but for this, there is a large amount of data that needs to be processed, where AI will definitely help. Now, what kind of pest is coming, that also a small SMS can be drafted, and it will also be multilinguistic. So, Tamil Nadu will get in Tamil, Kerala will get in Malayalam, Maharashtra will get in Marathi, Hindi belt will get in Hindi. English is, of course, the preferred and first language for AI. So this is how AI will help. I mean, I've tried to put it in a very simple and very just manner. I hope I have answered your question.
No, I think yes. At least the effort is there. I think you are all answering so well. I would leave a few questions for the audience to ask. Just to remind you, we have a Map My Crop startup expert here. We have a World Bank consultant. We have the most erudite professor in agriculture and also irrigation. Don't forget, he has done a lot of work with water. And just in case you have some queries on dairy, you can throw that also. So over to the audience for your questions.
Hello, myself Abhay Jagtap, I'm Director of Shower Technosoft. My question is to Rajesh. We are already in collaboration with Hardcastle, so we know you. My question is, as you said, you are already giving crop monitoring, detection, prediction, all kind of analysis and actionable insight to farmer. First question is, how much it costs to the 1 acre land farmer? Per year, it is a subscription model, or what kind of model you have, so that we can accordingly inform farmers to be your customers. Second question is, what is the frequency of the satellites images you get for this 1 meter by 1 meter resolution? And the last one is, you said the ground, even the soil reports, etc., need to be calibrated. What about your data validity and calibration? How can we trust whatever you say?
Thank you. There are too many questions in a question, but I'll try to justify everything. If I miss something, please do remind me. So your first question was, what is the subscription? We are a SaaS model. So basically, we are giving or a service. So in this SaaS model, there are many three type of services that we provide. One is just the data with actionable insights or AI processed data, where no human intervention. That comes around 1,500 rupees per acre per year for the farmer. Then there are certain interventions, certain models that are added on top of it, where the irrigation model comes, fertigation model comes, without agronomist support. So this comes all automated. So basically that enterprise needs to have their own agronomist and all. That comes around 3,000. When we go for full-fledged service, and what you are saying about 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 meter by 1 meter is used in case of when there is an enterprise with large customers. For a single farmer, it becomes too expensive for us to process and give. But be rest assured, when we process it, the AI models are so accurate with all the data that is being processed, because we use more than 7 satellites right now. We also use many multiple sources and pull data from to process it. With historical data is also there. You are aware that we have more than 50 indices on satellite images, and we are very precise on that. Some expert also told about uptake capacity of the farm. So even for that we have a different index. That model right now we are giving at 5,000 rupees per acre per year for the farmer. Believe me, actually with these rates we are actually burning, because we are.
No, I think you address that question on trustability, credibility. Your quotation can follow. That if you're asking for a proposal, a quotation, you please give it to him separately.
He told about what the price and
No,
SaaS.
so price, I think you
So-
can discuss a company to company. You better address that question on credibility of your data. Why should somebody trust your data? That is the question to be answered.
Right, sir. So now the credibility. One is we have partnered with KVK, and our project that we had for sugarcane with KVK was third party verified by VSI scientists who have been working with sugarcane for more than 15, 20, 30 years. These scientists were visiting for the entire last season of the crop, and they have verified it. One. Second, whenever the farmer, we prefer first soil test to be done in the lab. That reports are integrated by KVK separately with our output. So we don't know what exactly the soil test has been done on the ground. It's with KVK. They inform us or any client for that matter. Since Bhoite sir is here, we will refer KVK as a client. So KVK provides us with the and we provide them the processed outputs. That outputs are very.
Any other certification you have, any other government endorsement you have, any other regulatory association you have, I think that is what you have to address. Just because Dr. Bhoite is here, you cannot point all questions to him.
No, sir. Actually, this is a matter of concern, what you say is. But our customers primarily do it for themselves. Whenever I say my
Correct. So that is the
models are
point.
accurate,
You know, this is, I think, evolving. I think still yet evolving. It cannot be. It has to be a co-creation. I don't think you can guarantee 100% accuracy of data.
So I was coming to that. The accuracy for NPK is around 93% on an average scale. We also do sucrose content using the satellite. That accuracy ranges from 85 to 95%. For irrigation models, the accuracy for some crops, it varies from crop to crop. For some crops, it's 97. But whenever we provide a model to the farmer, the accuracy is always above 90. We prefer
So we'll
that.
come to the next question. So at least this is better than our experiential and knowledge-based assessments. The percentages are much better than that. So that is a good point. So next question, please. All questions from one table, is it? No, we have to.
My question is to Gorantiwar sir regarding digital support system. When we are talking about digital support system, हमारी जो सब्जी मंडी में रोज का जो किसान जो सामान लेके आते हैं बेचने के लिए, तो क्या वहाँ हम ये फॉलो कर रहे हैं? As far as the policies are concerned,
Sorry?
as far as the national policies are concerned regarding this DSS, everywhere now we are following as what you explained here. Are we following there?
What is the question?
So is it the fresh vegetables that are coming?
Fresh vegetables.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Farmers are taking.
Correct.
selling.
Yes, actually AI plays a great role in that actually. Okay, so as a part of the decision support system, okay, in Maharashtra Agri AI policy, there is one component, the traceability actually. Okay, so that will be done actually. It is in process. Okay, so that the farmers will know, the consumers will know the entire source and how it is moving in the chain.
Right now the rates are variable and not stable. उसमें कुछ मनमानी चलती है in rates.
No, I haven't understood.
डेली फ्रेश जो किसान लाते हैं मंडी में सामान बेचने के लिए, फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स एंड कंज्यूमेबल्स, तो उसमें रेट्स का वेरिएबिलिटी है.
Rates की variability. Yeah. So that is the what we call as the economics issue. It is very dynamic actually. But then AI can help this. But right now there is no such system. Okay. So but that is in place actually to be developed.
Okay, sir, my next.
Ma'am, just we cannot have all questions from one table, and I have negotiated with Sumita Mahajan for one more quick question.
No, we are talking about future of agribusiness or agriculture, and we are talking about AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, from morning till now we are talking about data, and only Bhartiya sir said something about data privacy. Okay, what about data security? What about authentication? You know, there are many platforms, they are working together or they are separately working. Tomorrow a cluster is doing something, they are collecting that data. Some other person is collecting that data. Is there any policy framework? Because AI policy framework for the farmers. So what about the data security and authenticity? So what necessity means, हम कितना भरोसा कर सकते हैं इस पे? ये मेरा question है.
I think the question is not about the credibility, but about the security. But it's data security is an issue. That is
You know that as far as the data security and privacy is concerned, okay, recently one act has been what we call as the past, which is called as the Digital Personal Data Protection, DPDP Act actually. Okay, so under this act, the data privacy and data security is guaranteed, because that is important. As far as the farmers are concerned, they don't know where their data is going, how it is being used. So for that, this entire DPDP Act has been already institutionalized, and at the government level, what we call as the lot of awareness program are also being conducted. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they have proposed for a universal data exchange.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They have made provisions to ensure security of data that is incorporated to this.
Yes.
How data can be accessed
Yeah.
from this has been described.
Yeah, and it is the consent based actually. As far as what we call as the data have been classified, so one set of the data can move freely, and another set of the data needs the consent, and the third set of the data cannot be shared actually. So there are many tier of this data sharing and data security.
So we have such a panel today that there is no end to it. We can have them talk, go on and on, but we have to end this now because there is a second panel coming up which will be equally interesting, if not more interesting. So I thank you all for being such a nice audience and thank my panelists.
I have only one question.
Yes, sir.
Has government gone forward with a comprehensive implementable action plan on artificial intelligence? Policy has come,
Yes.
funding has come.
Yeah.
Now what we need is how to go about it,
Yeah.
step by step.
Yes. Yeah.
So one of them would be the certain activities can start simultaneously.
Yeah.
And certain activities have to start in sequence.
Yeah.
Only after the first one has come, second
Yeah.
can follow.
Mhm.
So has government come with that? And second,
Yeah.
budget has come only 3 days back.
Yeah.
So what is the provision for artificial intelligence in agriculture next year?
Yeah. Shall I answer? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. You know that. So this policy has a lot of pillars actually, because when we need to apply any new technology in agriculture, agriculture is the most complex one, and most heterogeneous one. Okay. So then we cannot have only one way. So there are certain parallel activities are going on. So one is the data actually. So Maha Agricultural Data Exchange. So that activity is going on. So various what we call as the agricultural universities and departments. Okay. So they have started sharing their data. Infrastructure is in place. And the second, what I already told, providing the decision support. So then building the decision support system that has already been started parallelly. And then two of the decision supports, they have already been released. One is on the pest and disease forewarning. So that has been already released. Okay. But then this will be one by one. And as far as the third, taking what we call this advisory to the farmers is concerned, many of you may know that the Mahavistar app actually, it is not what we call as the general kind of the mobile application, but this is the AI enabled application. So that is available and farmers they are using. And it is also what we call as the generative AI kind of the thing as well. So that is based on the LLM. So if you go to that application, and then if farmers ask any questions, that is when to sow, and you will get the advisory. But at the same time, farmer will be provided with the series of the questions as well, just like ChatGPT. And the entire database for this LLM model is from the State Agricultural University's work that has been done over last 40 years. So that has already been documented and modeled as well.
I hate
Yeah.
to be the
Budget
one.
provision, sir, I'm not from the government side.
Okay, sir, I hate to break this party, but म्हणजे शाळेची घंटा वाजवते आता मी वर्ग संपलेला आहे. Thank you very much, and I'm very, very sorry that I'm eaten into your time. May I please request Mr. Sarangi to please come up on stage, sir. You to felicitate all our panelists as well as our very, very stringent moderator who took care of the time. And we have exceeded our time, and we really cannot give you a break, which we were hoping to. While the felicitations are on, can I request you to please put the QR code taka, please. WhatsApp chi QR code. Okay. So there's a WhatsApp group that has been created for all the participants today, and you can reach out to Tejas, to know more about how to get into it. Thank you. I request, yes. Yes, okay, sure. In the interest of time, we are not giving you a tea break, but please let that not stop you from going out and picking up your tea and bringing it right inside here. All right? So we will have running tea and coffee going along as we begin our next session. Thank you so much to this panel. And of course, Dr. Sunil Gorantiwar will be continuing in the next session as the moderator this time. And so he will be on the other end of the panel, where we will hope to see how he can keep hold of the time.